All right, and we're back, everybody, with the Tangent Podcast. And this week we're doing something a little different, Maestro.
Yeah.
You got something planned for these fine
Yeah,
viewers?
so usually we do the Drunken News as a little segment where we pop in and do Drunken News. But this week we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do our tangential top 5. So we're actually going to do a recap of 2016 and all the games that came out this year. And we're going to go through a few different categories. We have 6 categories.
Because we're getting to the end of the year, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
we're going to
I
recap
mean,
2016.
Yep. So the
getting
categories are
Kind of close.
games that came and went, the best art direction, most overrated games, most underrated games, the worst games of 2016, and the best games of 2016. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to go around the horn. We're all going to say a game that fit into one of these categories, and then we're going to narrow them down as a group and do a collective 2016 definitive list for each category. So let's, why don't we, what do you slackers doing?
you
here?
know, well,
Dude, first of all, since you
yeah.
haven't taken a sip
Yeah,
in like
a year.
a decade, I don't think you should worry about who's drinking what.
We almost missed it last week if you paid attention.
Yeah.
We
and
mean
so,
they.
Brian, why don't you
Sorry.
kick us off?
All right, so
while we're doing
with the
this?
drink.
Yeah, let's,
no, I'm not kicking off with any
it's
drinks.
Christmas.
I got
Came and
Fireball.
went.
Would you
So-
prefer that?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Tis
All right,
the
So
so
came and went are
Santa's
kind of the
coming
games
down.
that we believe,
kind of came
and then they went.
It doesn't necessarily
description,
mean
Gary.
it was a bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it was a bad game. It just kind of came
And then it went.
and then it just kind of just disappeared.
It
flew
was
up.
like it was here for a second, but then, you know what? It wasn't there.
It's kind of like a hybrid.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, anyways, the first game that I have on this list is actually
it.
Quantum Break.
Damn.
I have Quantum Break. I feel like that game
okay.
Yeah, go.
did get a decent amount of publicity, but then it came out. It got decent reviews, like
Gary liked
anywhere
it.
from 6 to 8.
Yeah, we'll
Gary
talk
really
about it at
liked
some
it.
point.
We'll talk
We'll
about
talk
it.
about it at
But
some
then
point.
it just kind of it died off. You haven't heard about it at all
Yeah.
in
No
the rest of the
DLCs or
year.
anything, right?
Nothing
no
that I
DLCs.
can think
It was
of.
a story straight through and through.
And that was
no
really it.
multiplayer or anything like that. So
Yep.
it was something new that they definitely tested
Yeah.
out. I mean, Remedy Games that made it.
I don't think
Um,
it. I don't.
No, yeah, I think you were
like-
going to see another one like very
Yeah.
soon.
They're going to
probably.
create it. I'm hoping they're creating another Alan Wake, but
Oh yeah,
most
Forgot about
likely, yeah.
that.
but this was a cool experiment that they had brought in like real actors to play these parts, and then they actually integrated real TV, like real life video, in with the game that you're playing.
Which we've seen before.
Yeah,
we
Night Trap.
have we? Have we
though?
really? But yeah, they would play like a cutscene that would be like you're watching a TV show for like 20 minutes, and then you'd play the game. And so it was interesting how they did it,
Nice.
for sure.
So, Justin, you got a came and went game.
Battleborn.
Yeah.
Take that off there.
I mean, I think everybody probably had, number one on my list.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Battleborn.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's how we
I
all
didn't
went
list.
down the
I
same
didn't
list.
number them out, but yeah,
Yeah.
Battleborn was
because
definitely
it
on
was
there.
actually fun. And for like the couple of days before we heard Overwatch was coming out, we thought it was really cool and we were having some fun. It had some problems. It wasn't like perfect, and we were
Yeah.
running into some weird issues with like, remember that escort mission? Just some stupid stuff that could probably be
It was a
buffed
good
out.
game, came out at the wrong time.
It got destroyed.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with this game is that they were like, "Hey, we're making this game," and then 4 years later, it finally came out.
And people didn't really know what the game was.
Yeah.
Right? So it was a mixture
It was
of
a
what
Borderlands and hero shooter.
Yeah, so it was a mixture of kind of like people threw it in with Overwatch, but it necessarily wasn't an Overwatch. It was
No.
more of a League of Legends first-person shooter, MMO type.
Yeah, or even like a Destiny kind of, the way you would fight.
But it was, I thought for what it was a good game. But it just came out at the
The worst possible fucking
possible
time.
time. I didn't
Especially-
even really play Overwatch or think about Overwatch, and as soon as I played it, it came in and went. Came in and went
So,
Just like that.
just like that.
Anthony?
I wrote down Hitman.
Hitman.
Oh yeah, okay.
I
can-
also have Hitman number 4 on my list.
came and went.
Came and went.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. I can absolutely see that.
Go ahead.
I didn't play. I just know you haven't talked about it
Yep.
since.
Yep. So I've only played the first
Okay.
episode, which was the Paris mission, and I've actually heard really good things about the other missions in the final mission of the game that just came out. But I agree that no one really knows that these episodes are coming out, and I hear like really good things
Of the
about the
people.
game.
I think that
Just other
chopping it up could have prevented people, like you said, you played one, you really liked it, but then all of a sudden you didn't remember
Other things
about it,
came
and
up.
then
Overwatch.
Yeah, and then you
Never got
forget
to it.
about it, and then you like now I got to go back and
now
relearn.
now it's too late. Now you're gonna be like, oh, I'll get that later on when it's all out.
Yeah, it was very strange how they did
Shot
it.
themselves
But
in the
on
foot.
top of that, just releasing it episodically, it didn't make sense to then push it out.
Each
like,
episode was like,
yeah,
hey, it's
like
a hit.
it wasn't like, oh, it's the new Hitman coming out. Like no one knew about it. Like it just kind of released, another episode released, and then another one released,
really-
and nobody was really talking about it. But then I saw the last reviews of the last episode,
yeah.
and people were saying it's good. So I will try to go back to it at the full collection at some point in time. But it came in and went.
Came in and
Very
went.
nice. Gary, what do you have?
So if I'm going, I got Homefront, the Revolution.
I didn't even realize that came out.
No, I knew it came out. But
So Homefront, the Revolution came out in May of this year.
I just knew. it
Oh,
was a
that's
bad
probably
game.
just another
That's just a
bad month
bad-
to be
it's
out.
a bad month, and Homefront.
Well, it's a great month overall. It's
The
just
the first game of Homefront that came out was
not good.
not good.
Not
it
good.
wasn't good, and they made all these promises. I don't think it warranted a second game. They shouldn't have made a second game, and they pushed it. They pushed it pretty well, or pretty hard. Like I saw a lot of advertisements for it. People were talking about it, and then the game came out, and it was complete dog shit.
So that's not really
Like-
came and went. That was like never showed up.
Well, I mean, it showed up. It didn't show up well.
briefly.
So I put down Homefront because it was just as soon as it was released, it was forgotten about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The next
Yeah.
one that I have on my list is Far Cry Primal, actually. So I feel like that game came out in February. It was a good time. It was probably a good time to come out, and then it was, from what it sounds like, Anthony, you really
It's
enjoyed
not,
it.
yeah, I don't think it's terrible.
No, I don't think this category really necessarily means it's a terrible game. I just think it came out, and then
People weren't-
and then no one really talked about it afterwards.
People weren't interested, I guess, in what, like the setting of it. And I mean, it's a hard game to kind of push.
Yeah.
It dropped off.
I think they did a decent job with advertisement, though. I just feel like it came out, it did pretty fairly well, like most Far Cry games do, and then it just kind of went under the radar, and I don't really have much
Yeah,
else
because
to say about
no
it.
deal. Yeah, there's nothing.
No
Because
DLC.
It
there's
came out in
no-
February, so it's not like a lot of stuff really released around.
The
that
only
time.
other game was Street Fighter V, really.
The Division came out
later
right
in that,
after
yeah.
it. So, but other than that, I mean, it should have done well, but it just I heard people didn't take to it. So
Yeah. But, yeah. Do you have anything else?
I actually no. I realized that those are just my personal choices. Where my other games that I had, everybody else is still hyped about. They just weren't games. Like Deus Ex was one that I played a lot for like a couple of weeks, and then once I started playing another game, I never wanted to go back to it.
Yeah, I have that on the list as well. I feel like Deus Ex did come out. It was great, and then no one else was really talking about it. Although the DLC came out like 3 weeks to a month afterwards. It was a single-player campaign. I didn't even know about it until I did research on it.
This is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So I feel like that would be a contender, yeah. You got anything else?
The
nailed it.
Division.
Okay. I feel like that had some lasting power, though.
I think it's
Unfortunately, it
still.
still
I
sticks
think
around.
it's still here.
yeah.
It's still, but what? Because Battlefield came out.
To us, we don't like it, but
No, so
Unfortunately, it
I
has a
think
huge
the Division,
Destiny,
like they
like-
just released the DLC,
Yeah.
and a huge patch, and
Didn't they have a new game coming out? Like,
yeah, they've been dropping shit hot like all the time. It's
well,
garbage. but
Ubisoft came out with Watch Dogs 2, but
That was the
I
thing.
would say Watch Dogs 2 is more came and went than
that's
the
more.
Division.
It's in a different category.
I have
Yeah.
Watch Dogs
Yeah,
2 on
it's-
here as well.
Yeah, and so, but I think the Division actually is still around,
Yeah,
even though
it's
I
trash.
think that game
Yeah.
should have came and went. I think it's still
I think
around.
it should have came and went.
Tom
I still
Clancy
think
always
it
has
is.
like.
I have that
Yeah.
game on my own little list of most disappointed.
Okay.
The Division's right here.
But-
So to kind of
Yeah,
continue
keep
on,
going, yeah.
I have Titanfall 2.
Cool.
So
I feel like it's kind of hard to do a game that like just came out, but I still have a few on here like Titanfall.
Titanfall 2 came out. It's a good game. The single player is good. The multiplayer is what Titanfall is, but I think it released around. There's so many multiplayers to play right now that it's just getting drowned out.
Yeah.
And people are going to forget about it. The sales are going to go down. And like when you have Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Overwatch just saturating the market, it's very hard to break through that. And especially with Call of Duty bringing in Modern Warfare 2 remastered, like it was a hard time to come in.
Yeah. So I wrote down Dead Rising 4, although I think that Justin said like it never really showed up. I feel like Dead Rising 4 was almost put out
like,
to die only because
they never advertised.
They
for
never
it.
advertised for it. So I would say Dead Rising 4, but that's hard to like say that because it was never really pushed. So that's like really unfair.
And then they just released the DLC for Christmas, and I went to download it, and
Yeah.
it cost me $5, and I I was like, nope, not going to do that.
So-
Why would I pay $5 to play your fucking DLC
Yeah.
when I can go play Overwatch for free?
So the last one that I have is Gears of War 4. Actually, I feel like that game came out. It came out mid-October. I played it for 2 weeks, and I haven't touched it since.
Yeah.
I said that to Gary the other day.
I feel like that is a game that
Maybe today, actually.
it might just be the single player campaign was fun for what it was. The multiplayer is still Gears of War.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just where I am in my gaming life that I just don't. That's not what I want.
There's
anymore.
another game that's taking up your time.
Yeah.
But with Gears of War, I think for us, I think it
Yeah, I think
definitely
that's a personal
died.
thing for us.
But
But
there's
I
also
think the
a-
multiplayer side of it is
And they were still
it's actually
making-
doing really well.
and they're still making product for
There's
it, too. They're
still-
still releasing
yeah,
stuff.
so
They're
they're-
doing a Christmas event right
Yeah,
now.
they are, and I know from watching esports, the competitive scene for Gears of War is at its all-time high right now. So at that point in time, you can't really say that the game is gone when
Yeah, it's still there.
it's still
Hey,
there in esports.
This is what we.
But
This is what
especially,
we do.
or
This
at
is what
least
we do.
games that we expected
Yeah.
personally that we would play a lot.
Yeah,
That's definitely one
absolutely.
of them that came and went.
So I mean, those are the real ones that I have for Came and Went. Do we want to kind of
I don't really
debate?
have any
I
more.
got one more.
Go for it.
Mafia 3.
I have that in another
Right.
category. That's why I left it out.
Well, I don't think that a game can not be in another category.
Yeah, I have
okay.
multiple
So
I,
then
games.
have
yes,
it-
I would
so
put
I think
Mafia
Mafia 3 came and
Yeah.
went just based off the fact of, I'm also most disappointed in that game as well. That I've never wanted to go back to playing that game after I figured out what it was.
Fair enough. Yeah. Anthony, do you have
Yeah,
any
no,
other
that was
ones?
really good
9.
stuff.
That was it.
Okay.
So-
So do we want to just go on to the next one?
I
Do
think we can
wanna-
all agree Battleborn,
Yeah.
number one.
I would
We
say
all kind of-
Battleborn.
We all had that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'd say Battleborn definitely be on there for sure.
All right. So I would say, me personally, I think I would say Battleborn, Quantum Break. You could probably throw on Mafia 3. I feel like those
Yeah,
three.
because
are
that had a
probably-
Two
lot of
people
hype about
voted,
it,
so
too.
yeah, everyone-
And you were
Yeah.
expecting it to be
So,
Yeah,
dope.
both
so
those
we're gonna
games.
do Battleborn. I'm sorry. I'm just
Yeah, go.
writing. Yeah, Battleborn,
Quantum Break,
Quantum
Mafia
Break,
3,
and Mafia 3. You guys want to deliberate on other ones?
Hitman.
Hitman.
Yeah, since that was popular.
Is that just called Hitman, or is there?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
Well,
just
we know
called
what it is.
Hitman.
okay.
What else do we have? I mean,
I
I have Far Cry Primal, Gears of War, Deus Ex, Dead Rising 4, Watch Dogs 2, Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, but you can put Far Cry on there. I mean,
Thoughts?
I got that another category.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we can bang the details out in
Yeah.
a full
Well,
list.
that's what
on
we're
the
doing
website,
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, we're doing
So-
it right now. And then I also had Homefront. So we have
Battleborn, Hitman, Quantum Break,
Far Cry.
Far Cry Primal. Well, this is for like the top 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
Far Cry, and then
Mafia 3.
What were the ones that you had?
yeah,
Same
was it,
thing.
right?
yeah, Mafia
So,
3.
Vision was
Mafia
Y'all
3.
agreed on
Yeah,
most
for
of them.
sure.
All right. So yeah, we've got a Came and Went. So we've got Battleborn,
They came,
Hitman,
they went.
Mafia 3, Quantum Break, and Far Cry Primal for our Came and Went. So the next category that we have is Best Art Direction. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Firewatch.
I
Number
only
2 on my
based,
list.
I only based on games that I had played
Got it.
personally.
Okay.
Experience. So unfortunately, I think that you guys are gonna have some really good ones, especially Brian played a lot of really good ones. So I won't have matching ones. as
I
you
think
guys.
Firewatch is on the
It
list.
won,
Like,
yeah.
just put it
Yeah.
on the list right now because
Yeah.
that game looks fucking sweet.
It looks really nice. But I don't-
The direction. I never played it, but I've seen gameplay.
It's on
of it.
sale right now for like $10 on Games with Gold.
Is
Worth
on
it.
PC.
Yeah, it's on PC, bro.
Steam sale.
Steam sale.
Steam sale.
Probably.
You're officially
All
tonight.
right.
You're officially Master Race.
Yeah,
tonight.
Master Race.
Tonight.
So now
is
the
night.
Elitist
It's official.
is coming
we
out.
saw it with our own
Elitist
eyes.
is coming out tonight.
Yeah.
So if it ain't on PC, I don't want to talk about it.
So, yeah. Justin, do you have Best Art Direction?
For me, I have SteamWorld Heist.
All right. I can-
Okay, SteamWorld Heist or SteamWorld?
Heist, 'cause
It's
Jake was-
Heist.
Oh yeah, it's Heist. Sorry, I
Personally,
played
for
Dig.
me, The art of it, even though it wasn't anything crazy, and it was almost like a Game Boy game looking art style to it. I think that the Steam world that they have in both of their games is really cool and very interesting. I was super, super stoked on it.
It's very steampunky mixed with Western. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
hey.
cool. And your robots. I just really liked it a lot, and it's still one of those games, even though I don't play it. I beat it, once or twice, and that was it. But I still really remember those.
Well, it obviously resonated with you.
Yeah, I really remember, the main character and the stupid goofy hats and stuff.
Yep. Anthony?
I'll just say Inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep,
I mean,
had to-
We all
put that on the list. I mean,
Yeah.
is anyone going to debate that?
That's on my list.
that's on my list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing really. It's very monochromatic and red.
It's even the color scheme. It's just the dark. It's the ambience of
Yeah.
the game. It
Yeah,
just fits
it's just the whole storytelling of the game. It's just fantastic.
Yep. There's nothing really
Fantastic.
else to say.
It's a great story. If you haven't played Inside, play it. You have to.
What do you got?
I'm going to say Overwatch.
I can't disagree.
I got that on mine.
I have
I
that on
mean,
mine
I
as
think
well.
the art direction of the game, the style of the game,
It's fucking cool as hell.
It
I
really
think-
is.
I think that honestly, it's even though the gameplay is very, very solid. Other games have solid gameplay, but its personality is much bigger than
every
people
character
think.
is different, but they all fit in the same world. And
It's-
the way they do it, the maps, they all fit in this world that we don't even know.
It doesn't feel like you're
exists.
playing a multiplayer map. It almost feels like you're playing in a story level, and there's all this shit, all the books, all the tables, everything. It's awesome.
Blizzard. Put it on
it
the
up, bro.
list, bro.
All right. So another one that I have is, so I have a few, but I want to throw out Ratchet and Clank.
I have it on
this
my
one.
list.
I wanted to. I've seen it.
Ratchet and
I
Clank
put it on my
is
list as well.
just the perfect Pixar game. It's fun, it's light, it's friendly, it's beautiful. It is one of those games where it's like Mario Kart 8 when that game first came out. It wasn't the craziest graphics, but it was so well done in its art direction in the way that Nintendo went to go about doing it. Insomniac did the exact same thing with Ratchet and Clank because it's not crazy detailed. It's just so beautiful and
so well done.
They
Yeah.
just got what they were trying to do. They nailed it.
Yep. And then the cutscenes integrate with the gameplay, and you don't really know what you're watching versus what you're playing. It was very smooth. Very smooth.
All
It's
right.
like us here at the tangent.
very smooth.
Very
Yep.
smooth.
Very smooth.
Justin, what do you
Justin, you got anything else?
I mean, Uncharted.
Okay.
The game just looks physically beautiful. So there was some artist behind the scenes who made that happen, and I mean, it's great. I know that their art direction is more realistic, but the fake
there's
places
still-
that they
yeah.
bring you and everything. The game is it's amazing to look at, and this just you got to put it in there. I mean, it's
Very
fucking
nice.
Throwing it
Uncharted.
in there.
got? Cool.
Ready? Color Splash.
Yeah, I have Color Splash on there too. Just because the game's shit doesn't mean that it
the
doesn't have a
art-
great art direction.
It looks fucking.
I mean, it is a very nice looking game.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I have no qualms with the art style of that game. I have issues
Yeah,
with other
but-
things.
But
But what else?
So
you
I
got?
have Unravel,
Okay.
which disappointing game, but art
gosh.
direction was fucking sweet.
Yeah,
was
it was
really
really
cool.
cool the way that you go from the house to the garden, and everything looked
It
so
looked
real.
like
You were in a house.
super realistic. And you're playing through that. It was like a painting, but it wasn't. It
Yeah,
looked
and you
like
go
real
through
life.
the paintings to
It's-
get to the missions.
The art direction is really well done in that game. The gameplay, not so much. The game itself, not so much. But I really enjoyed the visuals of how that game went.
Same exact story as Unravel is Abzu. So Abzu is
Brian,
that
we're on the same page, man. Those are my last
scuba
two.
diving one.
the scuba diving
Yeah.
one. I feel like the art style in that game is just tremendous. It's
I wanted to play
It's-
that. I think it's on sale for PlayStation right now.
probably
I believe it is.
It's,
Dust
it's
it off
really
and,
just it's just really hard to say that the game was great. But the art style and
It's almost more of an experience
I haven't
than a
even,
game. It
I
was
haven't
like
even
a-
played it, and I looked at it and put it on my list, and I'm like,
Yep.
this game is fucking
Yeah, it's like
beautiful.
if you want to relax before you go to bed, like play some Abzu. Just relax.
It's really
Close your
really
eyes.
good.
Imagine you're with the fish. You
white
are
noise.
the fish.
But okay, so does anyone have any other
I
ones?
got
or-
Gears.
Gears of War 4.
I mean, we all know that what Gears is, but I mean, it's still another beautiful piece of their universe.
Yeah, I thought they really upgraded a lot of the art design as far as like the cities.
I remember I was
especially-
blown away with like walking through the people's houses and stuff and the mansions and how like down to the molding and everything, how
The
nice it looked.
elemental part of the game, so like the lightning storms
storms,
and
the
stuff like that,
hurricane
looked
winds.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
Like the weather effects were really well done. The lighting
Besides
was really
the
well done.
Rancor Hammer of Dawn, right? Remember with all the
yeah.
weird blood?
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird blood was that was really strange.
But
and
we'll
bad.
give them a pass on that. I think that that the environments that they bring you through in the game, for me, it was especially the houses, like the mansions, were particularly fun.
It's very strange because it's almost very similar to like Eichenwald and Overwatch, where everything's very stone.
Yeah.
But it's a very
the
futuristic.
doorways are very tall,
Yeah.
and tall ceilings and all that.
Cogs.
So.
Yeah, sick.
Other than that, so we have a lot, so we're gonna have to kind of cut these down. And
So what do we have on there? Is
what we've been told to throw on there is Firewatch, Inside, and Ratchet and Clank. That's what we were told to throw onto the list.
Yeah, that definitely made it.
So that
I
allows,
also told you to throw on another game.
Dark
Two
Souls.
more.
No,
which one?
Overwatch.
Okay, I don't have any issue with that.
No,
If
put it on.
anyone-
That's
Do you have an
It doesn't.
issue?
It's outvoted
that's
anyway.
that's on
You're
my top.
outvoted.
That's
You're
in my top
outvoted.
5.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's in my top 5. That's in Brian's top 5.
Okay, so that leaves room for one. So
One game.
What we have, right, is we have SteamWorld Heist, Uncharted 4, Color Splash, Unravel, Abzu, Gears 4.
I would probably put Abzu on there just because I've seen what it is. And I
Abzu,
think for-
Unraveled, or Color, because they both had 2 votes. So either one.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say my personal
Brian, it's on
opinion,
you.
Yeah.
I would go either Abzu or Color Splash.
I think we should do Abzu. I think because even other gamers or people who aren't gamers looking at that would say, wow, that's really cool and well done. Even though they would probably say that about Color Splash as well.
All right,
But
Yeah.
Abzu.
I think the scuba diving element of it is just
You like the underwater,
untouchable.
huh?
Hey, I mean, so don't they. They're squid.
All right, so fair enough. All right, so that's what we have for best art direction. We have Firewatch, Inside, Ratchet and Clank, Overwatch, and Abzu. So we're moving on to a more negative category, I would say, is most overrated games. So should I start or?
I mean, I only have Mafia 3
I didn't write anything.
because I was so hyped on it and it came out to be just like, meh.
But I personally don't think Mafia 3 was overrated because it wasn't rated very well to begin with.
You
Well, I
got
guess
like
I
sevens.
personally thought that it was going to be
Before
like
before it came
I thought
out.
it was going to be great. Yeah.
See,
I got, or maybe it
my
was just
feeling on
overhyped.
most
You were just
I
overhyped,
overhyped it.
yeah.
Yeah, my feeling on most overrated is games that people are either still playing to this day that I think they need to just break their disc in half and never play again, or a game that sold really well that shouldn't have.
Yep, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So I'll start with Pokemon Go. I think that game is the most overrated
Ooh,
game
shit.
of the year.
Face. I'll give you that.
God, Mike, wake the fuck up,
in
bro.
your face.
I just think that
I need a
mean,
beer, for real, though,
It's
seriously.
not a good game. It's not a good game. It's just a collectathon and it's cashing in on people's nostalgia. Like I played it
And
for
it's
2
also
weeks.
cashing in on people's addictive behaviors with the microtransactions.
I guess.
If you
but
buy
For the
stuff.
yeah, if you
Pokeballs.
buy stuff.
I agree. I
That's how
think
they get people.
Pokemon Go for sure was
Okay.
way overrated.
I think that's a great one.
because it wasn't really a game. You just
And
walked
everybody in
around.
the world's like, oh my god, I play Pokemon Go. How much do I, bitch? I really like Pokemon, and you're really breaking me down.
All right, so we got Pokemon Go. You
Justin said
oh,
I
Mafia.
was just, I don't, that category I'm not like.
okay, you're not
It's
too
a
hot
hybrid.
on.
It's a hybrid.
It was a
a
hard category this year. We were
Yeah.
talking off air before this because a lot of the games that came out were what we thought they were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
I think
they
we're just
or
so-
they blew us away.
we are
Yeah.
who they thought they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they are
Anthony-
The
who
only
we
one I
thought
can
they
think
were.
of is probably Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Well, we just
Yeah,
knew it was
no,
going to be shit.
But I will say this: that I don't think it's that overrated anymore because it's not selling as well as it used to. And
But
I
I
think
can
that-
still see his
I
argument.
can
still had
definitely. Oh, it's definitely going to be like one of the
Best-selling
best-selling
games, yeah.
games of the year for sure. But I have a bone to pick with Call of Duty just based off the fact that they wouldn't release Modern Warfare 2 remaster as a standalone, and they made you buy the $80 game to get Modern Warfare 2
Oh, to get the
remastered.
so you had to buy the
Wait,
Yeah.
isn't it just Call of Duty Modern Warfare?
Infinite Warfare.
It's just no, it's Call of Duty 4
Modern Warfare, not Modern Warfare 2. It's
Okay,
Modern
yeah.
Warfare that's remastered that they made you
yeah,
purchase
you have
Infinity
to buy the
Warfare.
new game. That's why I don't have it. I'm not buying
yeah.
that new bullshit.
Yeah,
No
if
way.
it was a standalone
Give it a
game, it
couple-
would have
give it a
potentially
couple of
even
months, it'll be out.
outsold.
outsold it and they were petrified.
So they bundled it into the $80 mark, and
to get people, to
yeah,
get people to
it's
buy.
bullshit. It's bullshit. I agree with you. It's overrated.
It's one that
but
I-
it is actually slowly dying, which is
So amazing.
We'll throw
God.
we'll throw it on the list.
yeah. But it's also slowly dying to a game that I put on the list, which is Battlefield 1.
You feel like that's overrated?
I think it's overrated.
Okay.
I played this shit.
I think it's very casuals are loving it right now.
Yep. That's where I'm going at. So I've played Battlefield since Battlefield 3. So I feel like I have a decent idea of how
Which a
Battlefield
lot of people
game-
would say that's like prime time.
Yeah, I mean Battlefield was in 1942 was a big one.
Yep.
Is that the one? Yeah.
the original.
And but Battlefield 3 was the first one that I really got into, and I fucking love that game. That game was amazing. This game felt like a rub off of Battlefront.
Oh yeah.
So where I have a problem with this game is the fact that they had hero pickups pretty much on the map. Like you became Darth Vader by getting a flamethrower, or you get
Yeah.
this like heavy
the
machine
machine gun
that
with the
you can
armor.
only if you get to all of a sudden you just are just
Fully armored.
Unstoppable. Unstoppable.
unstoppable. And so I felt like the game really lashed onto casual players, and therefore, in my opinion, that's why I stopped playing it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't as fun. Because the game, the guns itself, there weren't enough of them, and the customization and the loot boxes weren't doing it for me. They give you
anything.
one
Wasn't anything.
They give you one camo per box that you got.
No.
And it's like, who the fuck cares? And that's probably not even a gun you use. And like in that game, it literally is like guns are better than others.
No, I think they really wrote on the nostalgia that they put into the World War I setting, and I think it was great. Like the single player, I like the single player. I think it was too short, but the stories that they did and the way they went about it, I thought was really well done. But in the meantime, I still think it was overrated for sure.
Yeah, and I seeing videos, and seeing videos of other games on social media and stuff, you see that it really is kind of, point and click or snap and click for the shooting. It's very casual friendly when you see other games and you look at it, how easy it is to just put shots on people and kill people. And it's just kind of
probably different on that.
yeah, some of us better than others, but even the gameplay, like it does look very casual when you start getting used to other games and
Yep.
looking back at it. And I think that the couple of weeks that we were super stoked on it was nostalgia.
Yeah,
And then we were just like,
I was caught up in the hype for a little bit, and then I woke up.
oh, that was pretty fun, to do that for a bit. And we were smoke grenading rooms and laughing our asses off. But now let's go back and play like the competitive game we were playing.
Yeah.
Which we all know Reign Supreme. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think that you make a pretty good case for that. I think the most overrated or the second most overrated game of this year is actually The Division. I
Yep.
feel like
So
that.
I actually had it as number
See,
one.
I got
my
these
list.
on other
I feel
categories. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I had it as number one on my list because I also was most disappointed in this game. Because when we first saw it at
I
that
was,
E3,
like, so pumped
like
up.
holy fucking shit, what is this game? We're in New York City.
When
Like
was that? 2 years ago? It was a while ago, right?
2013.
13. It was when
They
as they-
showed it. Yeah.
And we thought that it was going to be something different. Like you just didn't know what it was going to be, but we were all so hyped on it.
Yeah.
And then this fucking Destiny clone looking motherfucker
Yep,
comes
that's,
out.
That's what it was. It was a Destiny clone that took place in New York City, and it's still making moves.
Casual city, dude.
Yeah, it's still
Every-
making moves today. Like DLC is still coming out. People are still playing it.
The Dark Zone, nerfs, buffs.
That's
Beep, beep,
the
beep,
Dark
beep,
Zone
beep.
is pretty. It was
But
pretty
now
fun.
they got
Just
the
an idea.
underground
Yeah.
and the Dark Zone. There's the Dark Zone, and now there's like the underground tunnels.
Yeah.
And it's just like you and your squad can like go in there and like shoot guys,
awesome.
and then you can like leave there,
Shit.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But I know you guys don't have any more, right? You want to just go back and
Yeah.
forth?
So I also have The Division. I have Super Mario Run.
Okay.
I threw it on there just because it's hot in the streets right now. Time Magazine put it out as one of the best games of the year. Fuck that game.
But we know what that is. That's a hot dog turd about to be in the bag.
yeah. You can polish a turd, but it's still a turd.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
I threw on Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
You have a vendetta against that game.
I just feel like it's not as good as other Street Fighter games, and everyone.
And every Street Fighter gets the hype, so it's just like
Yeah,
relax.
and I feel like everyone is just really
Pretending
up its
it doesn't
ass.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're almost doing that because they're like, oh well, we're not getting a new one.
They don't
we're
want to
not
be
getting a new
wrong
one.
by talking all this shit.
I just feel like the game when it first launched, it didn't. It was incomplete. It was incomplete for like 6 months, and they just released Akuma for it, and I'm like, how do you not have Akuma right off the get go?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How do you not have Akuma?
Didn't Street Fighter 5 win like best
Fighting game? Yeah, because it's the best fighting game.
it's the only funny.
Yeah, but it's overrated.
Yeah.
It's overrated to hell because
I
there's
agree
no
with that.
like when Injustice 2 comes out,
It's gonna smoke.
it's gonna fucking smoke
When
it.
was the last Soul Calibur that came out?
Soul Calibur 5, that was hot garbage.
Was it?
Yeah, the last decent one was 4, and then before that was 2. 3 sucked. So is it cool if I throw Street
Yeah.
Fighter 5 on
Yeah.
there? All right. So what
Yeah.
else do we got? We got
So I have one more. You're probably gonna fight back on me, but I said The Last Guardian.
I actually have that on here, but I crossed it off because I feel like
You talked yourself out of it.
I did. I
Yeah.
did a little
Yeah,
bit.
I can
Well, I
see,
think if
I
you're
can see
not,
that.
if you don't know what you're getting yourself into, the hype might blind you into getting a bad
I think
game.
for me, because I saw the hype. So I saw like the 10 years of hype. I seen it. It went away. It wasn't happening. Now it is. Oh my God, it's The Last Guardian. Look at this.
cool, huge
Look
dog
at the hype.
thing.
Yeah.
Look at the dog thing. I love dogs. And then like it comes out and I'm like, I don't know if I should get it. Like, should I get it? And then I don't. And then I keep like I see gameplay and I see videos and it's not as good as I wanted it to be. So therefore, and the fact that it's doing pretty well, I'd
Well,
imagine. That I think they should have done a better job with it. I think you said the story was good. I think they missed it on. I think the gameplay was a mess from the beginning, and that's why it's been delayed so long. And it should have came out and should have ran better for the consoles and the systems that we're playing it on.
I would say, I mean, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I just think that I think that this falls into the Battlefield 1 category of like what Justin was talking about is that
Nostalgia.
no, not the nostalgia, but the hype train.
Yeah.
You got caught up in the hype train. Not necessarily that it
Like,
is
'cause
overrated
you
because
just
there-
didn't know what it really
Yeah.
was. Like Brian knew what it really was. The
Well,
people
because you had
making
to
all the
wait.
hype in
Because
the
you had to
beginning.
wait. Like the whole point was like the ending made like so you would have had to been like when I first played this game. A lot of people just would have put it down.
Yeah,
Like,
the thing that
controls
sucks
was-
about the hype is that like
I feel like
four
that
people,
doesn't make it overrated, though. I feel like if you play the game, at least if you play the game to completion or even close to completion, you understand why it's rated, like why it's esteemed, and then there's also gripes with the controls. So I don't think that the controls are like it's like people aren't
not game
they're
breaking.
they're not like blinded to that. They do see the terribleness of the
but
controls.
just so happens it outweighs it in the
Yeah.
end.
It does make you forget about the controls. Like that is something that I will
Yeah.
overlook, but it's not like one of those things that I will never I'll forget.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I would go against.
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
I agree with it. I mean, we agree with
Yeah.
it. It's just, it's a very strange game.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I couldn't come up with overrated because,
yeah.
like I said, everything was literally either I got blown away by it, and we'll talk about it in most underrated.
Yeah. Or you just kinda...
it was what I thought it was.
So we've got Pokemon Go, The Division. Yeah. I'll actually go grab some. Justin, you read.
All right, so Pokemon Go, The
Justin,
Division, and Street Fighter 5.
Our one that's the only ones we have on
We
there.
only have
Yeah.
that, so we're gonna have to go with
So
it.
I also said Battlefield 1.
Yeah, put Battlefield 1 on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 votes. So
2 votes. You want it?
Yeah.
All right, and then I also said Super Mario Run and Last Guardian. We can just do Battlefield.
Yeah.
BF1. So we're gonna do 4 for that, just because everything,
Discrepancy.
Everybody.
I'm good.
everything was what we thought it was. All right.
Yeah,
So
that's
we're
right.
gonna move on to most underrated games now. I'll lead us off, and we've already talked. I only came up with 3 games because these were 3 games that I enjoyed playing this year, that I felt were underrated, and we've already talked about all 3 of them. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say my number 3 underrated game was Battleborn. So I think Battleborn is a very underrated game because it got overshadowed by Overwatch completely. And
yeah,
and
nothing you can
I
do
think
about
if
that.
it released a year ago, potentially even 2 years ago, it would have done really well. They were thinking outside the box. It just took too long to come out, and it came out really at the wrong time. But I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed playing through some of the story. They had the quirkiness of like a Borderlands, but then when you played some of the multiplayer, it was pretty in depth. I thought that it actually was done pretty well. It's just got overshadowed by Monster.
Yeah, by an absolute.
So
powerhouse.
I mean, I think it was pretty underrated.
Yeah, I feel like I don't disagree with that whatsoever. I feel like I played the demo because it was free for a little while, right? Or the open beta, or whatever I played. And I did enjoy it. And strangely enough, I played the mushroom character that's
Yeah.
very similar to Zenyatta,
when
which
he's
is...
throwing the
he was
throwing
my
knives.
favorite character at the time.
He was throwing like the shurikens or whatever.
yeah.
So I just made that connection right now.
Ninja
that, like,
mushroom?
That's
Yeah.
it's very similar to a ninja mushroom.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
He stood up, like, 6 feet tall
Should
and had,
we should throw that on the list? I feel like that
Go
is
ahead, yeah.
Make it hot.
Give it
give it the old
give it its due.
give it its due. All right, fair enough.
I'm never mentioned again, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came and went.
One of my most underrated game of this year is Dragon Quest Builders, actually. So I feel like this is one of those games where it introduces you. Like, I never really understood the Minecraft phenomenon. I never got it. I was like, that sounds cool. It's like Legos, but not really. And when I tried to play Minecraft, I never really got into it because I just felt like it was so open and didn't tell you really
Yeah,
much
just
of anything.
Too much.
they threw you right in there.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking find
In
out
this
what you gotta
game,
do.
it does such a good job of explaining to you how to go about. Like, it explains what Minecraft should have explained to the players, and it's a Zelda game meets Minecraft, and it's perfect. And I'm having so much fun with it. It's one of those games where it totally flew under the radar. Most people have no fucking clue what it is.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But
I
it's
mean, I'm interested in getting it.
super addicting, super fun.
I've heard very good things about it.
It's really, really like I'm really enjoying
This
it.
guy
I'm
Brian.
Yeah,
told me
I'm
all
stoked on
all about it.
Stoked on
Told me this,
Obsidian.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna throw that on just like the side here.
Okay.
I mean, unfortunately, you guys didn't get a chance to play it, but Stick Bold is a fucking. It's honestly, you guys.
you
should
played
really,
it this week, and it's
It's
in your
on
I
the
mind.
played it last week.
He
Are
just
you
wrote
not-
this list.
I
He
played it
just
last
wrote
week.
this.
Are you not just
No.
saying that because it's fresh in your mind
Yeah,
right now? Like, are
it's-
you really thinking with your brain right now?
honestly,
Underrated?
It's underrated. It came out in April. This game is awesome. Arcade fun.
Okay,
check
so
it out.
put it on this list.
Yeah, I
Is
got
that
it.
fair?
I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nice job.
Personal opinion.
Anthony?
This is mine.
I think XCOM too is always one. Tactical games always fly like under that radar where like people don't really they're like deterred away from like that kind of thing, but they're always fucking great games.
Yeah, XCOM is fantastic. The most frustrating, fun
Yeah.
game I've ever played. I think you're right that they kind of fly on the radar because it's not like in your face, like action or like this big story. It's
a
just
way-
kind
it's
of
a time-consuming-
It's hard to explain how
The fear, yeah.
tactical these games can be and how in depth. These games are really
The
in-depth,
calculations, yeah.
really
lot
well
of
done.
shit.
Strategies.
Yeah, it's extremely frustrating but satisfying when you complete a mission. I think those games are
Rewarding.
pretty well known.
XCOM,
And I
yeah.
think XCOM does pretty well, but to your point, I do think it's pretty underrated because people look at it from afar and they don't realize how good it actually is.
Yeah, they're just like, oh well, people say it's good, so it's got to be good, but they don't really get the whole point.
Or they
Most
don't,
people are scared away from it because it's
or
so
they're scared of learning it, just like people that are scared to play Dark Souls. So, moving
or
on.
Outlast.
So most underrated, I also put on here Quantum Break. So we talked about Quantum Break. I think it's one of those games that it came and went, and I think it was for what it was trying to do. I think it was well done. The gameplay was fun to play. So it was interesting how they had a lot of people hated on the TV side of things, and it was kind of like you're watching this movie, but the gameplay, like the slowing down of time, and like you felt like if you ever seen X-Men with what is it it's not the Flash, it's
their super fast character
Oh,
stops all the
yeah.
bullets in the
Quicksilver.
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 You know how he's like stopping
Yeah.
everything, and that's kind of what you do in Quantum Break. You move people around, you zip in and out, you're manipulating time, you're breaking the walls.
It felt and looks a lot like the combat from
Max Payne.
No, the PlayStation exclusive game where you have superpowers.
Infamous.
Infamous, yeah, but his powers were different, but the third person
Stop time.
combat felt
similar.
or
Yeah.
looked.
And it was really cool how they had like well-known actors
Like
actually
actually be
playing it and playing the characters that you're playing as, and some of the decisions actually changing what's happening on the TV show. So like I've played through it twice because I almost got all the achievements in the game. And the second time I played it, I made the opposite decisions of what I made, and it changed like the actual TV shows of what you were watching, which was interesting.
Cool.
But it also gave you the option to skip the TV shows. So if you didn't want to do that and you just wanted to play the gameplay, you could. So I think they actually did a pretty good job with the game. It's a very particular.
I feel like it's
set.
one of those I can't think of the word, controversial games where
Yeah.
some people really like it and some people don't. Mm-hmm. So
Absolutely. And I think dividends to Remedy games again, as far as trying something new, putting out the feelers out there and seeing what they can get away with and what they can't, and then potentially in the future.
Making
learn
something.
from that.
Exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. I have I wrote Ratchet and Clank on here. I don't feel like that's underrated. I think that got its just dues. But I will put another Insomniac game on here, which is Song of the Deep. So I feel like that game didn't get enough love that it should have. This is the underwater game where it's a Metroidvania game. It was perfect, and I kept saying that this was the Ori and the Blind Forest of 2016. Not as good, but it was fantastic. The storytelling,
Except the throwing of the bombs.
The bomb
the
throwing,
the bomb throwing was difficult.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
that was a very difficult task to do. But
But other than that, top-notch
again,
shit.
but again though, like that's what I'm saying. I played this game 6 months ago, and I don't even remember the bomb throwing. I just remember all of the great things about.
I
the
just
game.
remember you only had one thing about it you didn't like.
Yeah,
And that was
Bomb
it.
throwing.
The both of you, that's the only thing you said that you didn't like about it.
bomb throwing was difficult.
And I do actually, we talked about price. It was what, a $15 game?
I think it's $15, but I got the limited edition. So, but yeah, it's $15 and it's fucking
worth it.
fantastic. It's so incredible. Even the movement.
It could even went in that art direction wise.
Yeah, I feel like Abzu kind of took it away from it, but yeah, it definitely could have. There's nothing bad about that game except for the bomb throwing. So yeah,
So I hear.
I feel like it just didn't get enough. It didn't get enough love.
Yep. Justin, anything else?
Stick bolt.
All right, Anthony, anything else?
Monster Hunter Generations.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought that people were like super amped on this.
It's promoted to like an exclusive audience that's usually
Japanese?
super. That I mean,
we call that a niche audience.
a niche, and it's never really like. Even when I like you don't play it, usually
Right.
it's one of those things like a lot of people kind of just like
I write it off.
pretty much. And I think they're a lot better than people give them credit for. It's the same with XCOM. It is it's a tough because like, every ball is a boss fight. Battle is a boss fight.
Okay.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where people get deterred by that kind of thing, and like it's a grind. It literally is a grind, like hours and hours of gameplay, and like people put it down in like 10 minutes and then never pick it up again. So I always feel like that's an underrated game.
Fair enough.
So
Cool. The last game that I put on there was Hitman.
Yeah.
So like I said, all three of these games that I wrote down, we've already talked about in a different category. They came and went, but I think like Hitman, just no one's talking about it. They're not doing the right thing for it. It came
They
out
could have
episodically,
potentially
but
shot
that
themselves
first
in the
foot.
episode
They're gonna
that I
mention
played,
it.
there's so much going on. The game looks beautiful. They have a ton of different ways that you can get to the objective. The replayability on each episode is fantastic. If they just released an actual game, like it would have
Could have been
done
a
like
force.
pretty well.
I bet you when they do the complete collection physical, it'll sell much better.
Yep.
But still, They
For-
might have
for
shot
right
themselves
now.
in the
Yep.
foot in that
Yeah.
category.
So I think it's very underrated for because people just don't know about it.
Yeah.
Like they just don't know what they're missing out on.
Or they
Yeah.
waited for the whole thing and now they're not even hearing about it
Yep.
anymore.
Yep.
And that's really all I had for underrated.
The last one that I have is Severed. It's that touchscreen game for Vita. That game is
Were
fucking
you trying to find your
fantastic.
head or
No, the sister with the one arm.
the
Sister
one
with the one arm,
Yeah,
and then
that's what it
you
is.
have to like time out what you're doing and your attacks
Yeah.
and stuff. That's actually, even if it doesn't make the list, that's a game that you should fucking check out because it's really good.
Yep.
So yeah, that's really all I have.
Cool.
So the only one that we really have that's unanimous was Battleborn.
Yep.
But the other ones that we have are Dragon Quest Builders, Stickbold, XCOM 2, Quantum Break, Song of the Deep, Monster Hunter Generations, Hitman, and Severed.
I guess some of these are
Dragon
kind of
Quest I'll go with.
like you don't know my game, so it's hard for you guys
Yeah,
to
well,
kind of vote on
exactly.
that.
Yeah, 'cause
XCOM,
like,
I
you
could say
played it this
I
week.
could toss a vote on XCOM because I know that it's a good game, even though I know it's not for me, and I could see how other people might not give it a chance, even though
Yeah.
it's good. So
I would say
be okay with
XCOM,
that.
Yeah, I could-
Dragon Quest.
I could
Give it
vote
to
on
her.
That Dragon
XCOM.
Quest sounds really
give it
good.
to
I
you, yeah.
was really interested to play that. I just haven't had a chance.
Okay, so Dragon Quest.
Yep.
Yeah, toss that on there. I bet you a lot of people haven't heard of that.
Let's see, Dragon Quest. All right. My other thought, I feel like Hitman would be a really good one to throw
Yeah.
on there.
You do Song of the Deep.
Yeah.
Hitman and Song of the Deep.
All right. Does that sound like a solid list?
That
Great to
sounds
me.
good.
All
People
right.
need to play these.
So
People
let's
need
get
to play
into the
these.
meat and potatoes right now.
Yeah. Let's talk some real fucking
Let's-
trash.
All right,
Yeah.
Gary. Why don't you
Some
go
real
ahead and start us off?
I want to start.
No,
I think we
starting.
all-
I think I deserve to start.
Steve
this
should
right
start.
now. Steve.
Yeah, where the fuck is it?
He's sleeping.
snoozing.
No, dude, he's
Sleeping.
been working
Sleeping.
rigorously.
Working hard.
since- yeah.
Rigorously.
All right, so let's talk bad games,
say?
fellas.
Rigorously.
You know,
Rigorously.
Fellas,
we know what number one's.
number one, Brian, put it on the list.
Hold on. Wait.
Put it on the fucking list.
can write it down.
This the biggest piece of fucking shit, lying
I'm just waiting.
suck bags,
Suck bags.
fucking suck bags.
fucking suck bags.
Sean Murray in No Man's Sky.
Yep.
This piece of fucking shit. I spent $60 on this game, played it for an hour, and have never fucking played it
Hated
again.
yourself more. Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, it's actually No Man's
Everybody-
Sky. I
everybody-
don't think
they
Gary's
figured that.
actually said the name.
Did I say
They knew
I
though.
said Sean
No,
Murray's
Sean Murray,
No Man's
No Man's
Sky.
Sky.
I didn't know if you said No Man's Sky. You were just going.
No,
I was
No
going
Man-
off on
No
these
Man's
fucking
Sky
suck
out
bags. Like this
Suck
piece
bags.
of shit game, I swear to God, like in the amount of like Brian, we talked about this. I love space. I love outer space. I love
Space.
Uranus, everything.
I-
It's just amazing.
Uranus is beautiful to me.
Discover new things every day.
good.
I
to know,
love
pal.
to discover.
All right, okay. Everybody knows what this game is. Let's
Yeah.
just keep it moving. Our hatred runs
Yeah.
deep,
No, I
like
mean,
a
you
black
gotta
hole
let-
of hatred.
Give it that
Yeah.
that final oomph. It's 2000 end of 2016.
hole,
Justin.
Uranus, is that what
last
that is?
thing,
Yeah, that was a
last
space
thing
joke.
you need to say to No Man's Sky and Sean Murray. What is it?
I hope you get hit by a comet. Like I hope
That's
it
it?
lands down on his
That's
house.
it?
Like irony, right?
Irony.
Yeah,
You're
what
going
if a
with
comet
Sean
hit-
Murray? I hope you get hit by a comet.
That
It's
would be
stuck
the
in
best
Uranus.
death that could possibly happen to him. Yes.
Okay.
Imagine that
So
if a
let's
comet.
mark it down.
Mark it down.
And let's
That's
Sean
down.
Murray
It's
from
marked down.
Justin
Hope you get it.
Hope you get hit by a comet.
comment. All right, Brian,
And then-
give us another one.
The comet
Another
has
one
sunglasses
that we
on.
have, Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a bad game.
Yeah, that's a terrible game.
I remember you guys played that at PAX East. You guys actually waited in line.
Yeah.
And guess what? I waited in line with you, and I didn't even try to play it. I just sat there and watched.
That's because
so
we
who's
got
the
up-
real sucker in that?
Us.
no,
So we waited in line. We got down. We were sitting and playing. I'm like, man, this plays a lot like the 2008 Metroid game on the DS. Oh, that's because it's the same game. And then I played it for like maybe 5 minutes, and I was just like, Steve, you want to get the fuck out of here? He's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So we stood up and started walking away, and the girl at the Nintendo booth was like, you can't leave. We haven't finished the demo. And I was like, somebody else can take our place. We're all set. Thanks.
Yeah, eat it.
Yep. That game is a
The old
piece of
Nintendo
shit.
girl.
Justin,
Yeah.
next.
Piece of shit. Well, speaking of pizza shit, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, got it on my list
Teenage
too.
fucking Mutant Ninja
Actually had it up
Turtles.
there as number 2
Damn.
on my
Yeah.
list.
Douchebags.
Yeah.
You fucking killed my heroes, you assholes.
Yeah, what
feet.
color is Donatello?
Mutants and Manhattan.
Yeah.
I'll just throw that on there because I
Yeah,
agree.
It's already voted.
It's already voted. Like
It's on.
I know.
it's on there.
I know. Anthony over here played like 70 hours of.
Yeah, crush it. pretty good.
Real nice.
You played it for 1 hour from
I only needed
You
to play it.
Xboxed it for an hour.
I only
Is that your
needed to
quantum
play
break
it for
review?
1 minute, and I gave it a pity hour.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gave
That's
it a
what
pity.
girls
that
do.
game-
minutes.
That game was the
Yeah.
worst. That game was the worst.
So, Ant, you got anything?
Mighty number 9.
Got that. That's
got
number
that.
3 on my
Yeah.
list. We're all on the same
Got
page.
that one.
Fuck that game. I liked Mega Man. I was excited.
And he blew it.
Blew it.
Yeah.
Blew it.
Yeah.
All right. Next. Recore.
Yeah.
So I have Recore on here, but I feel like I have 2 other games that are worse than Recore, and I'll make it.
So say
No.
record last then.
Yeah, we'll throw
Put
Recore.
Recore out there. And I just want to say my pity for Recore because I actually completed it. Brian, did you beat it?
With the,
No,
with the
I
loading
got-
screens,
I
I
got
believe.
to the part where it was like, "Yo, you got to go to the tower," and apparently you say that's the end of the game.
No, it's not.
Oh well, yeah, I wasn't doing anything.
You
sort
get
of-
to the tower, then once you get, this is why this is the worst game. So when you get to the tower,
You have to collect
you,
all
think,
those.
you think that you are like, I'm getting close to the end of the game. No. So by the time you get to the tower, you need
Go
like
get
20
more cores.
cores, right? So then you get to do the first level of the tower. You do the first level, you get to the door, it's like you need 28 cores. So it's like now I got to go find 8 more cores. Then you got to fast travel back to the beginning of the tower to fast travel out of there. So then go find 8 cores. Once you
With
find
loading
8
screens,
cores,
Grand total
minute and
needed
a
like
half loading
45.
screens.
yeah. So now we're talking about loading screens too. Then once you find the 8 cores, then you go all the way back to the beginning of the tower to fast travel to the first point of the tower to then do tower 1.
Just skip to
and
the
then
part where you tell him how many cores he needs just before he even gets there.
57.
57. How many you got?
You're at 20.
I think I'm right around. I actually think I'm 24 or 25.
You need
Good thing,
57.
out of
good
luck.
thing you put it down.
Yeah, I will never play that game again.
So I'm just saying,
That's stupid as shit.
piece of shit.
Well, I mean, just wait until you get.
We
That was
talked.
the end you said never.
Yeah,
It's
we
never
talked about it before that Recore should have been what Ratchet and Clank was,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and that's
I'm not
what,
saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I think the games that I have to say
So
are
I'm
worse than
excited.
Recore.
Well, you got
Let's
worse
hear
than
it.
this. Yeah.
Okay, so I have Star Fox Zero.
I have it on there as well.
Star Fox Zero is a.
I did not play Recourse, so I have no.
Yeah,
And I didn't play Star Fox, so,
So Brian's the only one who
Let
can
me
it's
just-
out of sight, out of mind for
I
me.
saw
Like,
it.
I just completely
I saw
blanked.
it. It looked like apps. It looked like it
No,
was
it
on
looked-
the N64,
it
but it
looked
looks
better
like it
than-
wasn't as good.
yeah. So I mean, it's not good. The controls are terrible.
Some mech fighting that looked like shit.
Yeah,
where you're,
it's
like,
not. It's
standing on
not
the
that
ground.
great. I would rather play Recore than Star Fox Zero. That's just me though, and I don't really have.
You
much.
haven't played the worst part of the game,
Yeah,
Rob?
also true. Also
You
true.
haven't played the tower.
Justin, you got anything else?
The Division, for me.
You feel like that's,
That's that's
the worst game?
Yeah,
Why?
because it fucking blows. There was
Well,
nothing.
but
Well, I mean, before
I don't
like,
think it's bad in the
Controls,
sense that
yeah.
like it plays bad or
there's something inherently wrong
executes
with
what
it.
it's
It was
trying
just
to do.
my opinion.
I think
Doesn't
enough.
have to make the list.
okay. Put it down in
opinion.
this column
Yeah.
over here.
Okay, Ant,
I wrote Watch Dogs too.
did you play it?
No. But
Did
how
anyone
many,
here play it?
Nope.
How many copies did it? How many copies did it sell?
Like 17, I think.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's like
No,
the
it's-
worst game.
It came out at a bad time.
Yeah.
It came out at a really bad time. But I also agree that because I played Watch Dogs 1, I did not play Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
It's one of those games that probably should have been came and went. I just couldn't tell you how the game played. So didn't
Yeah.
play it. I also put on there Far Cry Primal.
I got Primal on here as well.
And no one has played it, but
Even though no one's played it
need
but
to play it.
Anthony.
really coming from you.
No need to play this game.
Hey, well, coming from somebody who watches videos, I have eyeballs too, dink. And
You don't even listen to this podcast, you asshole.
hey, I told you I have eyes, not ears. I saw what I needed to see.
Yeah,
And how do you give me a grappling, self-propelled helicopter, and I switch that to nope, you get a tiger? Sweet, thanks. Next.
Isn't a comparison between the two.
Yeah, well,
it
from
makes-
one game to
makes
the
it
other.
That game, why it's bad. But
Anyways,
go on.
Ant, what do you got?
I wrote down Color Splash.
Yeah, I have Color Splash on there as well.
Simply, like I said, the art's the only thing that would save it. But the gameplay is just fucking like literally. If you just left it there as a screensaver, it'd be pretty good.
So you were just looking for a few images here.
Yeah, no, it looks beautiful. It's
Yeah, he
just,
loves the
I wouldn't,
shit out of
I wouldn't
that.
go past the start menu.
Okay.
But
Okay.
That's the other one that I had. Color
All right.
Splash was.
All right. So I mean, I'm done with.
I
with
got
mine.
Okay.
I
so-
got more. Go ahead.
Go. Sorry.
you
bud.
have one?
No.
All right. Well, I got Mafia 3. I guess that's opinion based again.
Yep.
And then I got Super Dungeon Bros. What a piece of shit. Honestly, it came out this year. It was on that list. That game sucks, dude. That game sucks.
Bro.
Super Dungeon Bro. Super Dungeon Bro. Yeah,
like
that
you
game's
enjoying it.
terrible.
I think it's so
Well,
bad that it's not even on the radar.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't even be written down. That game is so bad
Don't even give it
that
the
people just
mention.
need to burn it from their memory.
That game-
Forget that we even mentioned Super. Move on.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's literally. So we've got No Man's Sky, Metroid Prime, Federation Force, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, Mighty Number 9, and then so those are the 4 that are on the list. Now we have Recore, Star Fox Zero, The Division, Far Cry Primal,
I think-
Color Splash, and Super Dungeon.
I think Star Fox should probably go in there just because that's like Nintendo's supposed to be its fucking game. Like it's supposed to be like the shit. And if any game shouldn't have sucked, it probably shouldn't have been Star Fox.
Between Star Fox
And
and
it
Recore.
did suck.
Yeah, but I would even say I think Star Fox over Recore just based off the fact that, like Justin's saying, like Recore was kind of a hit or miss, whereas Star Fox
Was
like they
supposed to be
needed
yeah.
they needed a hit.
All right,
needed
so
a
we'll
hit.
go-
This is like
go
one of
with
their.
Star
This is
Fox.
one of their games. You know, this
Yeah.
is not supposed to be a bad
It's only
game.
sucked because what Miyamoto had hyped up the controls. Usually they're good and they sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks. You know, especially it sucks as
yeah.
fans when you wanted a game
Star
that was
Fox.
awesome.
All right, so getting on to the
Best games.
the best games of 2016.
Best games.
Gary, I'm gonna let you go ahead and.
I'm
start this
just
one.
gonna say you can put
Yeah.
down number 1 on the list,
Done.
best game of the year.
Overwatch.
Oh, for you guys.
It's Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's Overwatch. Overwatch, hands down, best game of the year. That game
I feel like
wasn't
that's
even on my
hard.
fucking radar until it released.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those games that I saw people playing and people talking about it, and I was like, I don't know, hero shooters, it's not for me. I play Halo, I play those. I played the beta, was kind of like, I don't really know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, you know what? I'll try it out, and I played it. I've nonstop played that fucking game since it came out in what, May?
Yep. Also, 29 winter loot boxes, 2 skins. I want to thank Gary for getting me the Tracer.
A
Tracer.
legendary. by the way.
Legendary one.
Legendary Winter.
So-
Cheers, love.
Yeah, cheers, love. The cavalry's here. All right. That's what I'm
There it
talking
is.
about. Thank you also for the shirt.
Yep.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yep.
But yeah, I
Christmas.
think that we've talked about this enough. I think that everyone knows that listens to this podcast.
You know
understands
our feelings on Overwatch.
there's nothing.
Blizzard-
God Mike is actually waking up to listen to us talk about Overwatch again.
I don't know if that's
Blizzard,
why he's waking up.
Unbelievable. I mean, the timely updates, the DLCs, the seasonal events,
Everything's
the
free.
patches, everything is free. Like you pay $60 and you get all this. It's
I mean,
you
Everything.
guys don't even play multiplayer games, and you've been playing this since May.
I do not play online multiplayer games. That is not my thing.
Gears
But
of War is your thing, and you play this over Gears.
Was my thing. And then when Gears of War 4 came out, I was like, all right, cool. It's, I'm going to hop back in. Nope. I played that for maybe.
You were like, these loading screens are too long. I'm playing Overwatch. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't had a thing since Call of Duty 2, and this is like my thing. Like I'm excited to play multiplayer because this game's awesome.
Yep. Overwatch #1 game.
I don't even have any other games to write down. Like 2000.
Brian,
Can
what
I
else
put
you got?
Fallout 4 again?
No, you can't put Fallout 4 again,
mean-
asshole. So I'm going to throw out Uncharted 4.
That's on my list. Yeah,
I feel like Uncharted 4
bought
was
a PlayStation. Well worth it.
one of those games where
You don't actually own it. Yeah.
No, it's
you
mine.
want it?
It's mine. Yeah. Or actually, I think I got to beat one more boss
Two.
by like 2 weeks ago or something.
But I don't know. I think that Uncharted 4 was absolutely
awesome.
incredible. It's a perfect ending to the Uncharted storyline that Naughty Dog wanted to tell. There's a DLC that's coming out for it. That's Nadine and Chloe that they just announced for PSX. So that's probably coming out in the near future, probably July of next year.
Cool.
Yeah, I just think that it's Uncharted.
Yeah.
Not really much else to say.
Cool. Doesn't.
You got
I guess I put Pokemon Moon on there is a game that came out this year that I actually, besides the fucking stupid text, I haven't had this much fun playing Pokemon since the originals.
Cool. Got you
Nice.
back into it.
What do you think?
I mean, I know what you.
Dark
it's-
Souls
it's
3.
right in- yeah,
Dark Souls 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yep. 3 of us have played it. 2 of us
have beaten
complete it.
past the third boss.
And past the third boss. Dark Souls 3, I mean, I don't want to steal your thunder, but I mean that game's the fucking shit.
Yeah, everything about that game is just
It's fantastic, and I know they're really catering to the PvP players right now. With the arena mode, they're doing the right thing with the DLC. The PvE was
next.
a great mixture of Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2, where they kept everything from Dark Souls 2, but integrated the combat to more of a Bloodborne. And I thought that game was, I mean, it, hands down, is one of the best games of the year.
Besides the bonfires, I guess.
Yeah, the bonfires were a piece of shit. I also put down Doom. I think
I have Doom on here as well.
I
Doom
think
online.
Doom was one of those games, just like Wolfenstein. They came out, Bethesda's, backing it, ID Software, fucking killing the old school shooter, first person shooter feel. Doom came out, and it was, I think, one of the first games where they were like, we're giving no review copies, anything like that. There's no reviews coming out before the game's released.
Yep.
Figure it out on your own. It's pretty much what Bethesda did. They came out and everyone was like, I don't know, there's no reviews, blah, blah. And the game is fucking awesome. Nonstop action. It is, if you are a Doom fan or a first person shooter fan, Doom is the way to go.
Or a brutal murder fan. Like, people like to play games that are just like
Demons.
gory and
Yeah.
smashing and crushing.
It's completely
Continue,
fast paced. One is one of the funner not multiplayer. But the multiplayer is not bad, but the single player is a ton of fun. I think Doom is one, got to be one of the games of the year.
Nice. I also have that on the list, but I would say that Dishonored 2 for me is
It's
one of
online,
those.
Yeah. I didn't play it, but I was going to say
I put it on the list too.
One of those.
I didn't
One of
play
those
it.
games that it took me by surprise, the first one, and I didn't realize how much I loved it, and I played it all the way through. And next week, I am hoping to platinum the second one. So I'm having a ton of fun playing it, all the different ways that you can kill or not kill people, and just figure out the situation, how you want to solve it, and then go ahead and do that. I feel like the powers are incredible. They just came out with a new update that allows you to combine the powers of the two different characters in a new game plus mode. So you
like
can
that.
play through the game as Corvo and have all of Corvo's powers, but
new-
all,
Emily.
all
Game
of
Plus?
Emily's.
I like
yeah.
that.
So when you play the
Yeah.
game as Corvo, right? Or let's say you play the game as Emily through the first time, and then you play as Corvo in New Game Plus, you get all of Emily's powers and,
then you start-
Corvo's. Yeah.
and then you start building Corvo's powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
And then you
carry
can probably do that
a
a
third
third time
Mm-hmm.
with both.
Yeah. So it is really cool.
They're just
I
giving
love
you
that.
replayability.
Yeah, because like the first month, it was just like play it the way that we have it, and then it's like, oh, a lot of people think that this would be cool to do it this way, or it'd be cool to have this power.
More is
with-
always
To do
better.
something.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to talk about it. So
I guess I would put Inside as one of those games that was just like pretty crazy experience. It was a really
You guys-
short experience.
I'm done with my list. You guys already named all
It's
my
all the
games.
games, right?
Inside is number 4 on my list. I mean, you're right. It's one of those experiences that you play through, and yet there's no voice acting.
There
yet
was no
there's
text.
no
there's
text.
no nothing.
It's just all.
are we talking about Virginia?
Dude, get out.
I'll leave.
Conan?
You're in
Conan?
timeout.
Yeah. How many rolls of toilet paper?
3.
What time is it?
I don't know.
Game time.
Illuminati time. But no, I
It's a
agree.
fucking
Inside is
buffalo.
absolutely incredible. It's on my list as well.
So
Yeah.
put it down. I see what's not there.
Well, I mean, I haven't thrown anything on there. I feel like Overwatch was the most unanimous. But
Yeah,
Inside,
I think
you throwing
Inside-
on
Yeah,
there?
Inside
all
was
4
on
of
there
us have played that
and liked it.
and
All
liked
right,
it.
cool.
That's true.
All right.
I'm done with my list.
My
the
list
only
is complete.
The only other one that I have is Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. I threw that out there. I felt like that was one of my games of the year. I had a ton of fun with that game, and maybe that's because it's very similar to Dishonored 2.
Yep.
But I would say if I had to choose one or the other, I would go Dishonored. But if you haven't played either one, you should absolutely.
I think
It's on the Steam Winter Sale right now too. So if you're playing on PC, you can get it for $25, I believe. I'm
Monster
probably gonna
Rise.
pick it up on PC now.
Damn.
and I want to play it. I played through a lot of it, but
You'd probably just finish it on Xbox.
yeah,
One.
but you know what? I got this rig now, so probably
yeah.
gonna play it on PC, and if it's on sale. But yeah, that game is fucking sweet. But I would go with Dishonored,
I would put Dishonored on there.
even though I haven't played Dishonored. I think Dishonored.
We know what it's about.
Does anyone else have any other? Ones?
I don't have any that we haven't talked about.
I have two.
bold.
One from personally, I'd put The Last Guardian.
Okay.
It'd probably make the top 5 for me. A game I have not played, which probably should have gone underrated, which is Final Fantasy 15, because I heard that game was just fucking crushing it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't played it.
That's
People like it.
actually I feel like there are a lot of games that like didn't fall into categories for
Yeah.
me, but Final Fantasy 15 was one of them. The Last Guardian was one of them. It just like they're great games, or at least I thought The Last Guardian was a fucking really good game. It's just it doesn't.
Yeah,
You could handle the
It
struggle.
doesn't make the top like 5, but it definitely belongs on a
It's an
Honorable mention.
mentioned. Correct. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think honorable mentions. I will just throw out there if that's what we're doing right now.
do you got?
The Witcher 3: Blood and Wine, the
Yeah.
DLC that came out.
I'll allow it.
You'll allow that.
We didn't try
'cause
to
that
sneak it in onto
is-
any list, but it was
4K.
good.
I need to see that. In,
It's
Ultra.
20 hours worth of DLC, which
For
is
20
longer
bucks.
longer than most games.
Too bad
It's-
Geralt doesn't feel emotion.
I mean, don't.
you
be a
didn't even
hater.
beat it?
Yeah, you didn't even beat
Yeah,
it.
I
Well,
got-
you
yeah,
still
yeah.
haven't beat it. It's a year
Hey,
later.
I
and
turned you
you-
guys
did
on
not-
to The
you
Witcher.
did
I
not beat
turned
anything.
you guys on to The Witcher.
What
It's
game
okay.
have you
did?
completed?
You know,
You
yeah,
turned-
Witcher 2. I was like, hey guys, you should play it. You guys were like, whatever.
Who showed you The Witcher 2?
I don't remember.
I'm assuming
Games
Gary.
with gold.
No,
Gary, yeah.
I showed you this trailer. I'm like, look at this trailer. The guy in the
trailer was
boat.
dope.
And
But
Witcher
Games
2.
with gold, it was free. I played it. It was awesome.
Anyways, so let's get back. Whoa,
piece of shit.
hey, take it easy. Take it easy.
That was I just
Take it easy.
Slam it down.
Yeah. Anyways, so the games that we have for best overall game. So right now it's just Overwatch and Inside.
Yep.
So the games that we have nominated are Uncharted 4, Pokemon Moon/Sun, Dark Souls 3, Doom, Dishonored 2, Deus Ex, The Last Guardian. Oh well, Deus Ex. That's the end, and then The Last Guardian, Final Fantasy 15, and
so I
Witcher
think
Blood
we
and
got to
Wine.
put Dark Souls on there.
Overwatch and Dark Souls.
Overwatch.
Overwatch is on
Dark
there.
Souls.
So Dark Souls.
I mean, it
do we
has to
do
go on there.
do we do
Dark
Dark Souls, Doom, and Dishonored, or do we do? Is there?
So I think Dark Souls needs to go on there. So
Okay.
Dark Souls would be the third. Now it's between Uncharted, Doom, and Dishonored.
I think it goes
like-
Uncharted and Dishonored. I think that Doom is great. Oh, I guess that's preference for me.
Preferably me. Uncharted's not even making it. So I'll go Doom and Dishonored.
I go Uncharted, Dishonored.
I'm gonna go Doom and Dishonored.
Brian, what do you go? Is it? Do we
Is
need
it
a tiebreaker?
unanimous, or are
It
we
is a
going?
tiebreaker.
Are we going to God, Mike?
I'm
It's
gonna
a
go
th-
Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 and Dishonored 2.
Okay,
Okay.
God,
So-
Mike.
So is it?
Is it Uncharted?
So hold on.
and-
So it's definitely Dishonored.
You played Doom.
Dishonored 2
You
is in.
played Doom.
is
What
it
do you say?
Uncharted or Doom?
Doom.
Doom it is.
All right.
I like that. I like that.
I mean, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say. The bullet. I mean, all those
Preference.
games are
Yeah,
fucking
it's a
awesome.
total.
Preference.
It's a total preference
We,
thing.
that's how voting. That's how the podcast does it, man. We believe in
This is a
equality.
democracy. So for those of you that fell asleep while we were doing that,
the
we have
oligarchy.
a
Not important.
not important. All right. Well,
We have
that's
quite the list.
We
We're
have
gonna
quite
throw
the
it up.
list. We're going to throw it up on the
We'll
site.
throw it on
or
Twitter and everything.
Yeah, so
and-
you guys can see them. Maybe we'll do one every week or one every day this week. One list every day this week, and then I'll do it. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
And then-
we'll do it
They'll
then.
all be in the show notes all at once.
Definitely that will definitely happen.
But that's going to be it for the Tangential Top 5 this year. Thank you for sticking with us. We're going to take a quick break, come back with our Twitter handles, what we're doing on the site, and all that jazz. So stay tuned.